This is Fowl Players Radio, your podcast for arts, entertainment, and pop culture. Welcome. My name is Michael Spedden, your host. Every episode features fun, fascinating stories about people in the performing arts, actors, authors, dancers, writers, musicians, athletes, you name it. Folks who are center stage, backstage, on camera, or behind the scenes. Sit back and listen. Let's have some fun. Fowl Players Radio is a proud production of the Fowl Players Group and the official podcast of the Fowl Players of Perryville.
Hey, this is Brian Damage from Kicks and Rhino Bucket, and you're listening and watching Fowl Players Radio.
Hi, folks. This is Jay David, and you're listening to Fowl Players Radio.
Hey, you guys, this is Gina Shock, drummer of the Go-Go's. Woohoo! And you are listening to Fowl Players Radio. And I hear this fellow Mike is from Dundalk. How about that?
Hi, this is Kim of Kim's Crypt, and you're listening to Fowl Players Radio.
And folks, Michael Spedden here. Welcome to another episode of Fowl Players Radio. Tonight's episode, we have Rich Simpson. Rich is a part owner of Get Fit Harford over in Havre de Grace. It's a gym that I belong to and my wife too, and many other people. And he is also a hip hop artist. He is a former college football player, high school football player, an assistant college football coach. And did I mention hip hop artist? He is a hip hop artist as well. He does a lot of motivational classes with his music, gives a positive message for young people, and does a lot of great things in the community, which is why I really wanted to have him on. And plus, he's a good friend too. He's a really nice fella, and I really think you'll enjoy this interview. We talk about the benefits of fitness, especially when you're getting a little bit older. Joining the 50 club here, the benefits of taking care of your body, as well as the positive things that he's been able to accomplish with his music, motivating people, keeping people motivated to take care of themselves and to stick with it and to work hard and do good things. And I really enjoyed this interview. In the show notes, you can see where to find his album, Through My Mind's Eye. It is available on a lot of different platforms like iTunes and Amazon and YouTube, Spotify. And in the show notes, I'll also list all of his social media accounts where you can find him on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, as well as links for the gym, getfitharford.com. So all of these things are available to you to check out. If you happen to be in the area and you're looking for a gym to work out, I highly recommend Get Fit Harford. It's a really good place. You're very well coached, and it's a different approach to working out that I'm used to here, and it's definitely worked for me. So I would definitely encourage you to come check it out, as well as Rich's music. Remember to shop small, folks. There are a lot of great local artists out there that need your support, and what they're putting out is very, very good stuff, whether it be books or music or theater or something like that. Remember, folks, to shop small. We'll be right back with Rich Simpson right after these words. Hey, folks, the Chorus of the Chesapeake is having their second annual Bull and Shrimp Roast. To benefit the Chorus, it's going to be on Sunday, May 21st, 2023, from 1 to 5 p.m. at Superior Catering Hall, 1010 South Oldham Street in Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Tickets are $50 each. There will be a cash bar available. No BYOB or coolers will be allowed in. For more information and tickets, contact Bob Mattis at 410-435-1947. We hope to see you there.
Hello, my name is Gunhild Carling, and you are listening to Fowl Players Radio, and I am interviewed here, so tune in.
The Fowl Players of Perryville Murder Mystery Company is starting a brand new season in May of 2023. Our first show will be The Answer is Murder and will be performed on the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad, 13 Canal Street in Cumberland, Maryland on Saturday, May 6th. Tickets are available at WMSR.com. On Friday, May 12th, we will be performing at Fifth Company Brewing at 325 Front Street in Perryville, Maryland, and the show will be called Fowl Play. Tickets are available at fifthcompanybrewing.com. On Mother's Day, May 14th, we have a matinee show, Curse of the Scroll, a Maryland Party Boat, 1901 Old Eastern Avenue in Essex, Maryland. Tickets are available at marylandpartyboat.com. For more information on upcoming shows and the rest of the season, www.fowplayersofperryville.com. If you are looking for entertainment for a gala, fundraiser, office party, or for any old reason, please consider the Fowl Players of Perryville. We have murder mystery shows for all occasions. We can be reached at fowlplayersperryville@yahoo.com or 443-600-0446. Hello, listeners. We at Fowl Players Radio thank you for all of your support over the past 10 seasons and nearly 300 episodes. We would like to encourage you to keep listening and spread the word. Audio versions of all episodes can be found on our main website, fowlplayersradio.com, as well as on many of the other platforms you can see here. You can find all of our Season 9 and 10 episodes, as well as some best-of episodes and shorts on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@fowlplayersradio. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to get alerts when new episodes are released. No matter what platform you choose to listen, you can help us greatly by hitting the subscribe button and giving us an honest review. You can also help us by supporting us at patreon.com/fowlplayersradio or at buymeacoffee.com/fowlplayerw. Your support makes it possible for us to continue to be your one-stop shop for all of your pop culture needs. Be sure to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for new episode announcements and news and updates on all of our guests. Thank you, and enjoy this episode. And welcome back, folks, to another episode of Fowl Players Radio. Tonight, we've got some great local talent here from Maryland. We've got Richard Simpson here. Richard Simpson is one of the owners of Get Fit at the Well. He's one of the guys that Sergeant Carter's me a couple times a week around the room and is helping me get this carcass into some kind of human form again. And he is one of the owners of Get Fit at the Well over in Havre de Grace. He is one of the owners. He's also a fitness trainer and a hip-hop artist. And I've heard his material. His material is quite good. Very well done material. And he's an excellent fitness trainer too, and knows exactly what to do. And we'll talk about this here. We'll talk about this a bit tonight. Former college football player for Bucknell, played for Havre de Grace High, does a lot of motivational classes for groups, and he's kind of a very well-rounded guy, wears a lot of different hats. So welcome, Rich. It's good to see you tonight.
To see you, Mike. Yeah, I'm glad you came through the doors, man. It's nice to have you again. Like, it's nice to, so it's always fun for me to see progression and like see people go through the struggle and then see themselves come out of it and just make those little changes that are, feasible and apply to your life. And you know that, man. Like, I know you said the other day, or you said a couple times, like even just being able to, reach to the laundry and like these little things around the house that are applicable to your life. And it's been a pleasure to have you and Teresa through the doors, man.
Absolutely. We really enjoy it over there. And I mean, one of the reasons why I've been going there, I'm in my mid-50s now, 54 in a couple months, and spent a lot of years playing music. I know a lot of guys in my age group, and I hate to say this, but I have had a lot of those guys I knew from playing music years ago. They're dropping dead like flies in their 50s. A lot of these guys years ago lived really hard and never really stopped living hard. But the one thing, is that just like anything else, the older you get, you got to try to get the most miles you can out of your body, and you got to use it in order to do so. And
oil changes, those rotors, tires, brakes, you got to work on that stuff to move the body.
Yeah, absolutely. And the programs that you have over there have been great for me. I've joined, I think it was right around Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah.
Right around Thanksgiving, I started, and I would wake up in the morning, and it would be like snap, crackle, and pop. Getting up took a couple of minutes. You're walking down the stairs like I don't know what, but it wasn't pretty. And this movement and exercise, it really makes a difference in your quality of life. I'm sure you're not as old as I am, but you agree, I'm sure, right?
Absolutely. I even like, doing this for over a decade now, you hear so many stories of, people having kids and deaths in the family. Just you hear a lot of life stories. And one of the things I always ask people when, they have a family member or a friend that passes that's like, mid 40s or early 50s. And I always ask like, what was their condition of life? Like, and usually when they go like that, it's usually a heart issue or like a random stroke or blocked artery. And it's always, they were pretty sedentary and just ate whatever they wanted. And that's like the common theme. And you got to think of it like, especially that age, around that time in the, early 80s, fast food, processed food started to come around more and was more accessible. So, some people that, we don't even know it are eating just whatever and, not moving, not, sitting at a desk. And, even from children where we're kind of in the classrooms and just sitting down and kind of stagnant. So it's, it's not anybody's fault really. It's kind of what society feeds us, but that's, kind of the routine a lot of people just get in, and it's tough to get out sometimes. And you can see that in,
it really is. It really is. I mean, as you go through life, the older you get, the more you're working. People are putting in a lot of hours at work, because it's necessary for their job. And in order, if they want to keep their job, they've got to make sure all their work's done. And there, these crazy work schedules that people have, and a lot of times you don't have time to plan what you're going to eat. I mean, you're going along and then you're like, oh, geez, I got like 15 minutes here. They just grab something, out of either a vending machine or they run through a drive-through real quick. They grab that, throw it down their throat, then right back to the salt mines.
And I mean, the big wigs, the big companies in society kind of plays off our schedules and realize over the years, like, people won't have time to sit down as much. So here's fast food and stuff with so much nitrates and sugars to make it taste good and dyes to make it look better, and so it's kind of like a slow process of putting us down.
Right now. So the types of workouts that you offer over there's a lot of different programs over there. Now, the ones that I've seen are the ones that I go to and my wife does too, boot camp that you have, and it's about a 45-minute program. And you also have boxing instruction. There's other things because I see different sports coming in and out a lot too. Tell us a bit about, I mean, it seems like, when I'm doing my workouts over there, a lot of people, in the group are, I'd say well over half of them are within my age group, within about 10 years or so. Tell us about this type of exercise that you're having us do.
So it's just HIIT training and high intensity interval training, but we've kind of built a system to where it's scalable to everybody. So the mass, and we base it off of athletes. Like our base training has been athletes, sports performance training, and we believe that everybody is an athlete. Everybody can be an athlete, and everybody can progress. And if you just have to take them from where they are. So we're not going to have the same person or a different person come in and do the same exact thing. Like when you first came in, the first thing we told you was take your time. If you need to stop, and if you need to modify this and not jump, just according to how your body is at first, or how much impact you can take, or how much cardio you have. We're not an outfit that tries to crush you and say, oh yeah, it's cool that we got you sore the first day, because anybody can do that. We want to build your muscle, to build your joints up around you, have you be healthy, injury prevention and just be safe and, you know, provide an environment that's not intimidating but welcoming to everybody, age, shape, size, color, whatever. We just want everybody to come in and take them where they are and get better.
That's one thing that I've noticed about this gym. You know, you know, Jeff, you know, the other coach, Jeff, the other instructor, are the ones that I've worked with the most there. And you have it's a different atmosphere than most gyms because you greet people coming and going. You know everybody's name. You have something motivational or, you know, kind or uplifting or something to say to everybody, and you give constructive feedback, which is something that you don't get, you know, not the, you know, like at any other gym really. I would also, and another thing that I've noticed as well with your gym is the fact that you're very, very particular on form. And how many times you've yelled at me for slouching or you know, not standing straight. Posture and proper movement are very, very essential to getting the most out of the workout. Tell us a little about that, if you would.
Just everything, you know, we established this over trial and error, and we learned by research and studying and experience that, you know, your core and your posture is your base, it's your foundation. And you can get, I mean, a great workout by literally just engaging your body from your stomach to your arms, whatever muscle you're using, everything around it. And that posture, that base helps to elongate the body, helps to take out the slouch, helps to build the core. And your core is what provides the movement and the structure and the strength for everything else around you. And if you don't have that base, then you're just doing movements that, you know, you can get a workout in, but they aren't as efficient as they could be without engaging that core. And that's what we base everything around, the core. That's why we're focused on locking in, you know, doing everything stiff and tight so that, you know, when you're doing a workout, you're doing it at that level of engagement so that, you know, when you're doing something else that you're not even thinking about working out or engaging in, that you can, you know, sitting in your car, you're like, oh man, I should be upright instead of slouching, sitting on the couch. This is going to be beneficial to my life, to my movement, to opening up the airways in my chest, to make my lungs be able to take in more air. And it's just overall, you know, great movement, great engagement, great to take in.
I mean, I'm guessing it's just logical, really. I mean, because you know, you're moving.
Really, it's absolutely it's simple, but it's when you break it down and really dig into it and really coach it like we do to, you know, I mean, you'll hear us say, you know, pull your head away from your shoulders, pull your shoulders back and down, chest up high, pull your shoulder blades in, squeeze your abs, squeeze your stomach, squeeze your thighs. You know, a lot of people think core is just your stomach, but it's your back, it's your upper thighs, it's your glutes, it's your stomach as well. But it's everything surrounding your midsection that you strap in. So yeah, we're definitely heavy on that, and that provides a better and efficient workout for any other movement, whether you're doing legs, whether you're doing arms, whatever you're doing. It really provides a great base for your movement.
Right. And I mean, I can imagine, you know, again, with it being just logical that, you know, your body doesn't move like this, you know, it moves like this, you know, or it moves properly like this. You know, you want to do the proper motions. And I can see, you know, by doing those other things where people try to lift too much weight and they try to put their back into it and throw it up, that's where injuries happen, or that's where tendons get pulled or torn or something like that. So being very
people come to us through, you know, that had injuries, or you know, we've had a lot of, you know, people that have done different workouts, or even runners. We've had a lot of runners come to us that they were just runners before, didn't really supplement with any kind of training or lifting. And, you know, we even had some that they trained with us, stopped their routine of running, but went back to run and had better times in their runs because they were running more upright. Their knees were stronger because they weren't just being ran down. They were actually building muscle around their legs. Their posture is better, so they're running stronger from their core, which can elongate your stride and open up the hips. It applies everything. It makes everything that you do better.
And I noticed too, the emphasis on stretching really gets rid of a lot of inflammation you may have around your joints and everything too.
Yep.
I notice I'm bouncing out of bed a lot better in the morning. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a 20-minute ordeal with noises and sound effects and everything else. That those of you listening, wait till you join the 50 club, everybody. Okay. That'll be you too. So that then you have to go see Rich for that.
Yeah,
But
so get ahead of it early now. Come see us. Get ahead of it early.
Absolutely,
we can start at any time, but the sooner the better.
Right. It is just with lifestyles and everything else nowadays. I mean, these kinds of things are really good, and the fact that you really pay attention, you point things out as we're going. There's no mirrors in there or anything like that. So we're kind of a lot of times you're doing what you think feels right and everything, but you'll come over and you'll even say, hey, watch those shoulders, watch the back, get that straight. When you're doing your squats, make sure you butt out, knees down, that kind of thing.
Back in the heels, lift the chest up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's something that like I said, we built over the years, working on our cues. Like we really try to be sharp and trying to see everything, seeing the room as a whole, but then working on keying in on individuals and making sure everybody's safe. Looking at things that could either be harmful to them and trying to prevent any kind of injury. Through just working on our cues and making sure that we're really, really fighting to see everything and being engaging for everybody.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a bit about the other programs that you have there at Get Fit at the Well. I've a lot of times when I'm leaving at night, I see a whole bunch of high school wrestlers or high school baseball players coming in for different programs that you may have.
Yep.
And I know that one of the coaches there is also a very well-respected wrestling coach.
Coach Tom.
Yep. Yeah. Tell us about that a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, we have boxing in the evenings, and Coach Tom is actually developing a wrestling team, but he's also the coach the assistant coach at Havre de Grace. So a lot of those kids have flowed over, but yeah, he's well respected in the community. He wrestled at the college level at UPenn, but he was also a state champion in high school at Sparrows Point. And he's building that and building it from ground up with the proper discipline, the proper structure. And like you said, we also have baseball. We have teams come in that use the facility, with their coaches, rent out the facility. And Coach Jeff does a lot of personal training and trains athletes. We train lacrosse players. We just had a lacrosse program right before the season, a 6-week program that we had lacrosse players from all around the county come in for 3 or 4 times a week and just work on speed, agility, and their skill work. And we also do a program in the summer with high school, middle school, high school, and college level athletes or professionals that come in. And it's a 6-week program, 5 to 6 week program, the same thing, 4 times a week. And they work on, again, speed, agility, strength, and their skills. And that's one of my favorite times too, because you see that progression in that short period of time in the proper way to where you're really building pure, I like to call it pure strength. Where you're building pure strength, pure agility, and not just trying to wail on people, but building it up and taking them where they are, and building up that mobility, building up that movement, building up that core so that you can handle the weight, so that you can handle the fast twitch muscles with the speed, so that you can handle putting on a load, whether you're squatting or doing power lifts. Being able to control your own body with the way it moves, with that burst or jumping, being able to land softly and land properly, and keep your body engaged when you're moving side to side. Just try to, again, building the base around the core and that gradual progression, so preventing injury.
So most of you there are, I guess all of you there are coaches. Even in the boxing area, Tony is, and you have boxing, boxing workouts, and I guess, do you have competitive boxers, people that do it competitively come in, or is it mostly just a workout?
It's mostly fitness boxing, but it's also, you know, really hone in on technique. Coach Jeff is really taking that under his wing, and Coach Tony has really taken that on, and he has a lot of background in MMA, jiu-jitsu, and yeah, so he really has honed in on that and has helped us take it to the next level. And yeah, and it's nice to have him on the team because he just came on recently. We did a performance at Looney's to get everybody in the county around to kind of see what we were doing before we got started with the schools. And he actually, one of my songs that I performed, he's good with nunchucks. So he's a really good nunchucker. He can do that as well. And he did a whole bit where he started out, you know, put his raps on, came up and then started slowly nunchucking, and he did this throughout my whole song. And then by the end of it, he was nunchucking all over the place, kicking. And yeah, so it was cool. He's awesome.
I think I'd be more of a danger myself than anybody else with those things. You really got to get used to those.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I tell you, I tried. I tried swinging a pair of those around once when I was younger. I almost knocked out my teeth. You know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan, and I bought a pair. My neighbors and I they took Taekwondo, and we all were so into the martial arts. And I bought a pair of legit 12-inch full wooden nunchucks. And we had ninja stars and kendo swords. And I worked on those nunchucks for a good 2 years straight every day. And I mean, I hit myself back in the head and the chin, chest, everywhere, but actually got pretty good.
Yeah. I remember in middle school, guys used to take, we used to go to wood shop instead of working on duck decoys like we were supposed to. They were making nunchucks. And the teacher said, "What are you making?" "Oh, they're crab weights for when we go crabbing." "Oh, yeah, right. Okay, yeah." And that was the thing, you know, you weren't allowed to have knives or nunchucks in school. I mean, this was back before we had, you were actually allowed to have guns back then. Because when I was in high school, we had a rifle team. We had a rifle team, and I graduated in '86. I went to Calvert Hall. They had a rifle team, and the guys would bring their rifles to school, put them in their locker, and there was never an issue. Never an issue, you know. And it's, I guess, you know, what can you say about that? But that's a different rabbit hole. But yeah, that was the thing back then, making nunchucks in wood shop in middle school. So a bit about your background. You know, you're a Havre de Grace grad, and you played football there, and anything else?
Yeah, I played football, basketball, and track. Actually, my parents were both born and raised in Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was born over here in Maryland, but my dad was a semi-pro soccer player. My mom was a track and tennis star there. So I grew up. I played a few years of basketball when I was a kid, and played some soccer. But then I played soccer my freshman year of high school, and you know my buddies played football and everything. Yeah. So I never knew it. I didn't know. Once I decided I wanted to play football my 10th grade year. I had watched football because the Ravens were just coming on.
Yeah,
but I watched it, but I didn't really understand it. So I had to ask my coach, like the first, time we're doing anything, like what a first down was, like how it works as like, first down, second down, third down, how the chains move. So I just went in as, a raw athlete, I guess. Yeah, so I played football, basketball, and track. Those were my three main sports in high school. And I also did track in high school or in college as well. My senior year, once football was done, and like, kind of used to doing stuff all the time and training and studying film and working out. And, my schedule was really light. So I decided to do track at Bucknell.
That's great. That's great. That's, I come from an athletic family too. I didn't get any of it, but my grandfather played semi-pro baseball and football before we had the NFL and Major League Baseball in Baltimore. They had athletic clubs. And like Arbutus would play Havre de Grace, Towson would play Highlandtown, and they would do that. And he did that for a long time. My father was scholarship basketball player to American U. My aunt, scholarship tennis player to college. My uncle ran track and cross country in college. My cousin swam with Michael Phelps at the club level in school, not any like professionally or anything. Let me see. I mentioned my dad. My sister, varsity softball player. My brother, travel league baseball pitcher. And then there was me. And I went out for football just like you. I mean, I was a lifetime football fan, but the only thing I ever did was play Nerf football. Through the Nerf football. I didn't know anything about blocking or proper technique or anything like that. We just used to, play touch or tackle or something, and it was always in the street or in somebody's backyard. There was no form. But I wanted to have something. I wanted to try it. So I went out and spent a lot of time on the bench, and it was mostly special teams, kickoff, kick return, field goal unit, that kind of thing. But I spent a lot of time on the bench, which, when you want to play, it kind of stinks. But on the other hand, you get the best seats in the house,
Right.
I had
it's like to be part of a team, and
yeah.
you're in. To me, there's nothing like football, and especially playing at the college level, you play with 90 plus guys, and I always say, like, if everybody could experience a football team at that level, like, there would be a lot less problems in the world, because you have all types of colors, backgrounds, ethnicities playing together for one common goal, and like having to be in the same regiment, same schedule. And it's like you really, you're bleeding, sweating together. You get into fights, but I mean, it's just a unique, I think, a unique environment to be in.
It really does. I agree with you on that point, that team sports is really a way to it really is a way to bring people together for a common goal, and it can really help with people are still having problems getting along nowadays with other people, and it's a real shame, but that's definitely a way. It's definitely a way to get people to work together and to get to know each other as people. You really have a bond with your teammates.
I mean, it's hard to look at somebody just because they're different from you or have a different background that you fight in the trenches with, bleed and sweat for a common goal, and then say, like, I hate you, or
right,
or, I dislike you because of the way you look. And that doesn't even. And not to say there's not issues on teams and like stuff that happen, but a lot of times you work it out and you come to common ground, and have respect for one another.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. But like I said, I wish I could have played more. I was sitting on the great seats from the bench. You can really get to see the game well. I actually had a couple of scalpers come over to me and ask if they could rent out my uniform to some people. It's like, I don't think I can do that. But that's really, and to be able to play at the college level, it really steps up the competition. When you do that, I mean, because when you play in high school, sometimes, you get a school, like Calvert Hall, where I went, where you have 200 people trying out for about 40 slots or something. And then some of the smaller schools out there, I can remember there were a couple of schools where everybody had to play both ways.
Oh yeah.
Even the quarterback, because they just didn't have enough people.
Yeah, I think we fielded. I think we had 23. That was a good number my senior year. So you pretty much had to play. Yeah. Ways, and there's kind of grit and toughness that comes with that you build. Well, having to do that, being forced to.
It really does, and then the discipline too. The discipline that comes with playing team sports and working hard. And I have to say, even though sports didn't really go anywhere for me, I was in, believe it or not, you should have seen the shape I was in back then. I mean, I could run I was like Forrest Gump. I could just go. I could run for miles. I was strong. I was bench pressing Cadillacs back then, and I was still slow, but I could last I could get through football practice without puking. I just wanted to.
It's always a plus.
Yeah. So that's great. The fact that you have guys there that are coaching, and everybody there's like I said, everybody that I've spoken to that they're all good guys. All I can see are excellent coaches, and definitely if I had I would definitely be happy to send my son or daughter there for coaching. Because I can see that you all definitely know what you're doing and everything. So,
for us, it's just a matter of the key word we always use is belief.
Yeah.
Believe that people can progress, you can get better. I mean, a lot of times we have to get out of our own ways, and sometimes we need somebody to help us with that. So that's why people come through our doors, and we believe that wherever you are right now, you can improve.
Right. And it really does make a difference. It really does make a difference. I can tell you firsthand, I've been going there for like 5 months now.
Yeah.
I had a couple of weeks off when I was out of town performing, but I'd say about 4 or 5 months now. And I tell you, I mean, it's a big difference in quality of life. I feel a lot better. Do I look like a Greek statue? No, but I do feel a lot better. My numbers are a lot better when I go to the doctor. They're a lot happier, and it's definitely been something that's been for the better, for the best.
That just gives you confidence that you've done it for 4 or 5 months now. You plan on being with us for longer in the future, and it's only going to get better. You just keep understanding more. You understand your body better. You learn movements better. You key on how to attack workouts a certain way that are conducive to you as you learn them, as you hear more cues, as things click more, and then you just keep progressing.
Right. So besides coaching and owning part of a gym and playing football and everything, you're also, I must say, a very good musician.
Thank you.
I've heard your material. It's hip hop material, and it's good. You play it while we're working out. Nobody looks over and says, "Turn that off." It's believe me, I've had some stuff I've recorded in the past get the side eye many a time. But no, this then again, it was in a country bar too, which we were nowhere near that. But it's good material, and your material has a good positive message. Tell me about this. This is a whole other side of what you're doing here.
Right.
Tell us about what you're doing with this.
So yeah, like I said, I mean, I've always been into music, always loved music. My parents had, vinyls growing up, and I loved everything. I mean, from a lot of reggae, obviously. Make a lot of reggae, but I mean everything from, Boyz II Men, Brian McKnight, Celine Dion, Yanni, like anything, any and everything. And then I really discovered hip hop, like when I was around 10, 11, and I just fell in love with it. But I always loved music, and I always wrote poetry, or wrote little melodies, little, music, and it was always something that I just loved. So I always wrote, and then 12th grade we had a project to do, and one of my friends and I, we read the book The Lord of the Flies, and we had to make up a project, and we decided to write a rap and record it and let the class hear it and our teacher hear it, and they really liked it. And then got into college, and then started recording some more with a producer that was there. And I just started recording after that. After college, kept recording a little bit. And my stuff back then wasn't what I consider good then. And I got some side eyes back then. And but I loved it so much that I kept with it. And then as we once we started up the gym, and a couple years into that, I was still making music, and everything turned to where I understood. I just had this, I guess you can call it, epiphany, that I wanted to put a project together, because I was just feeding into everything around me, which was positive, and understanding, like, I just had bursts of inspiration to write for others, and to write what I feel like others should feel and hear, but something that's coming from within me. And, I feel like I'm an okay communicator, but not the best. But I really communicate through music and through the passion of, inspiring others through that, and just being inspired myself through. I mean, I'm the type of person that if I hear that somebody doesn't listen to music, I'm like, I just have to wrap my mind around it that, okay, other people don't listen to music, but I can never go a day without it. Like, it's hard for me to go in the car, take a shower. I have to have my music box. So yeah, I started doing that and started putting projects together, and got my first album out in 2019. And like I said, it took me 4 years to do it, to build it, to put together a project and put together the songs and put them in the right order and have the right interlude and the right intro, and to have different meanings and the instrumentals tied together, and have different words from different songs, connect to other songs. So I like to put a project together and something that has replayability, I guess, for somebody really that, because I figure, like, it's going to be out forever, right? Like, it's going to be out, so somebody in 10 years can look back or discover it and dive in and mean something different to them, because the way I write is literal, but it's also abstract. So you can somebody can look at a verse or a line, and you can have a different meaning to one person to the next.
And I think you're definitely doing it right. You're definitely right about the taking your time to do it.
Yeah.
You only get one final
right
project,
Yeah.
and if there's times I've been recording in the studio, and it can be tedious, it can be frustrating, it can be like, but sometimes you get that temptation where something isn't quite there and you're like, good enough.
Yeah.
Well, believe me, when you do that and you listen to that song from now on, that thing sticks out like a sore thumb, and it drives you up the wall, and you get nothing but regret. So
I've definitely, like, I've had songs that I recorded, that were just I was making to make, that I took from now, that are on the album, but I put a different instrumental to it or change some lines here, because I like certain parts of it and like the words, but it just didn't fit then. So I've taken it from that and used it on something 5 years later, 6 years later. And this second album that I'm working on now is I'm in the fourth year of making that as well. But within that, we've been able to do school assemblies, which is what Jeff and I are doing now in our DJ. And we put out enough, built enough of a catalog and put out enough good word to people. It's been word of mouth first. It's been through people that are teachers or principals that come to the gym that enjoy our energy and heard the music. And it's cool that it just happened organically, that we try to get into a school and speak and do the music, and now it's come to we're on our tomorrow we're doing Deerfield Elementary, and then Friday we're going to be at Havre de Grace Middle School, and talking and interviewing kids and speaking a message of hope and belief and unleashing the champion within through the music and through Jeff speaking. And it's cool to have built something so organic and so from you that other people can feel, and like you can feel, you build a moment of just like pocketed energy that is being taken, well received in the moment, and you can just feel that energy being reciprocated, or just it's great moments created that hopefully last, especially with these kids that are that need it. You don't know what everybody's going through. You're in front of hundreds of kids, staff for that moment, and you don't know what's going on in home life, or what they're thinking, what paths they're going down, and if you can help be a bright spot for them in a time of whatever they're going through at the moment.
Oh yeah,
it's nice to have that ability to have something creative that's from you that they can receive well, hopefully.
Oh, absolutely. It's good to get out there and just fill other people's lives with positivity like this. It's definitely because you never know how it affects people.
Right.
It's a good effect. I mean, people could walk out of there and this could have a good effect on a lot of people and make a positive change just when they needed it to happen.
Yeah.
And so that's wonderful that you're doing that. Do you ever do other venues with your material?
We've done the State Theater once or twice for a sponsorship for Havre de Grace football team, and I've done that just to kind of get the word out there. I did a hip hop class last summer at the Opera House. Opera House. Yeah, so I did a 2-day session where I presented, about hip hop and what I do, from, writing to structure to memorization to, how to write a song, how to put together a song, what it looks like, how do you pick an instrumentation, and any questions that they asked. And then they ended up writing their own song they had 2 of my instrumentals to pick from that I've already recorded to. And so they got to write their own song. And, I helped them, with whatever questions they had. And then they had the opportunity to perform it the next day in front of their family at the Opera House. And then I performed, and it was a cool experience. And it was fun to be able to do something that, I'm not really I wouldn't say I'm not a teacher, because I coach and teach in different ways. And, but at first I'm like, how am I going to present this? But then I just went through, like, what I do to put together a song, put together a project, and it just flowed. So it felt good, and that was a different experience for me, and that was fun. Yeah, and I mean, I'm trying to, I'd like to do anywhere, festivals, anybody that will have me, that hears the music, and because I feel like anywhere it can be presented, again, can provide a moment of good energy for anybody listening.
That's good. That's good. I've got plenty of experience and stories from the road in my younger days, and woo, boy, yeah. There's plenty of Spinal Tap moments out there too. I've had plenty of that going on as well. But it's it's all worth it. It's something that's part of your life. It's part of your life, and this whole experience, the whole great thing. But the thing is, I really like the idea of you, I like the fact that you went out and you gave some of these kids an opportunity to create something.
Yeah.
And the thing is that if you give, especially if somebody may be troubled or something like that, if you give somebody an outlet like that, you teach them to make things, you teach them to express themselves, you teach them to take that energy inside of themselves and make something, you can definitely get some positive results. So I'm sure this is something that you've learned in the time that you've been doing this.
Therapy. Yeah.
Very therapeutic. Very therapeutic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're at the point in the show right now where we call this the shameless plug time, where you can shamelessly plug anything you would like to shamelessly plug, with no shamelessness spared and all shamelessness included. So tell us about where we can find, Get Fit at the Well if somebody wants to join. And the thing is too, everything that you tell us now, we'll put the links in the show notes so people can go to it. But your music, the gym, everything, go for it.
Yeah. Well, our Get Fit stuff, getfitharford.com for the website, and then we're on Facebook, Get Fit at the Well, and then on Instagram we are Get Fit Sports, and then I'm also on Instagram, and it's rsimp81. But you can the music you can find on all streaming platforms, like I said, under Rich Simpson. My album's called Through My Mind's Eye. And Through My Mind's Eye is just a way of saying, seeing everything from my introspective and going, part of the album is going through my mind and just seeing it from my point of view, but putting it out there for everybody else to see. Like I said, on all streaming platforms, I have 3 singles out now. One is called Never Give Up, one is called Galaxy, and one is called Rise Up. And I'm currently in the 4th year, like I said, of working on my 2nd album. That's going to be called The Sun is a Star. And I chose that name, that title, because I was just thinking one time, the last verse of my last song that's going to be on the album is, the last line is, even the sun is a star what's your worth. So it's just saying that, you know, the sun, the most powerful thing to us, you know, if it moves an inch closer to us, the whole earth is burnt up. If it's moves an inch away from us, then we become a frozen tundra. So it's so powerful, and controls every bit of our lives. But it's just a speck in the whole universe. It's just a little dot. It's insignificant, really, except for us. So, you know, even the sun is a star. What's your worth? So, yeah, trying to make you know, different, you know, make it thought provoking for the projects that I make, and, you know, have it really, I don't know, pull out creativity out of others and, you know, attack it from that point. So yeah, Rich Simpson, and yeah, please go listen.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, folks, definitely make sure you check out his material. You know, I've heard a lot of it, you know, with the gym, you know, as I'm working out, and it's good material. I have to say, it's very good material. And again, if you're interested in, you know, some fitness, come by if you happen to be in the area. Come by if you happen to be in the area, and speak to Rich or Jeff, or, you know, one of the owners. They can, you know, help you put something together that will definitely be to your benefit. You know, exercise and that sort of thing. So, Rich, thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight. I really appreciate your time, and glad we were able to finally do this. You know, we've been talking about this for a while. You know.
Yeah. So it's tough with the kids and everything, but it's it's worth it. The schedules are crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
My daughter came down for a second. She was going to bed, and she's on a couple songs with me, and I like to, you know, involve her. She's been in the studio with me, and it's nice to be able to have her. She heard the music since she was young, and to be able to create stuff that's, you know, clean and positive and motivational. She knows all the words, and, like, you know, that just, you know, sits within her, and, like, you know, keep hearing the same things of reaffirmation and hear them over and over. So, you know, that's another reason why I do it, for my daughters to hear and have something positive to sit back on that they hear from, you know, their father, and being able to share that with them.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, folks, you've been listening to Rich Simpson here on Fowl Players Radio. Check out his stuff. All of the links to everything you need to know about Rich is in the show notes, and make sure you check it out. Remember, you know, it's getting to be gift giving season too, right? We have graduations, we have Mother's Day, Father's Day, we have wedding season coming up. It's not just around Christmas time, you know. Remember to shop small, shop local. You know, there are plenty of people out there working very hard that put out excellent music. They put on great shows, and they're all right here in your backyard.
Absolutely.
So make sure you come out, you know, check out Rich's stuff and all the other guests that we've had on Fowl Players Radio. You know, we keep all of their links to their merch and their books and music and everything in the show notes. And please support them. So until next time, everybody, this is Michael Spedden and Rich Simpson here on Fowl Players Radio, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again, Rich.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike. It was awesome, man. Pleasure.
And folks, thanks again for tuning into Fowl Players Radio for Rich Simpson. Rich Simpson, again, part owner of GetFitHarford.com, fitness coach, hip hop artist, an overall great guy. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and you know, check out his links that are in the show notes. You know, come check out the gym if you're looking for a gym. If you're looking for some good hip hop music, his album Through My Mind's Eye is available iTunes, Amazon, YouTube, Spotify, lots of places you can get it. Make sure you check it out, and remember to shop and support our local artists. We'll see you next time. This is Michael Spedden on Fowl Players Radio.
Hi, this is Kathy Ladman, and you're listening to Fowl Players Radio, the place where you get all of your good news information. Not really, but it's just a great show.
This is Just Bill.
This is Rat Bastardson.
And this is Joe Poodle from Red Dye Number 9, and you are listening to Fowl Players Radio.
Hey, Mary Jo Peel here, and you are listening to Fowl Players Radio.